everyone, it's Justin again. Have you ever used a phrase like, I need at least $100 to buy the supplies that I need? Or, he's probably somewhere between 10 and 15 years old. Or, I have less than 30 minutes to play video games. Well, then you've been using inequalities all along. Inequalities are something we learn to use in regular conversations from a young age. This unit is all about getting comfortable solving inequalities rather than equations, and working our way up to using inequalities in real-life situations. In the previous unit, you've gotten really good at solving equations, but in this unit, you won't see that equals sign anymore. Instead, you'll see inequalities, such as greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. How would we find a solution in these cases where there isn't just an equal sign? Well, that's what this unit is all about. So in this lesson, let's get comfortable with these inequality symbols so you're ready for what's to come in this unit. So, what is the difference between an equation and an inequality? An equation is different from an inequality because an equation needs to be balanced and typically has a limited number of correct answers. Like in this equation, the only number that will make this statement true is 12. This only has one answer. But with inequalities, the scale is supposed to be unbalanced and definitely will have more than one solution. Take this inequality, for example. It says that x is less than 12. So the left side would be the lower side of the scale because it's less than the right side. There are all sorts of numbers that would make this true, like 9 is less than 12. And -5 is less than 12, and 4.593, and even 11.999. There are actually infinitely many numbers that would be solutions here. So you could spend all day listing numbers that are true in this statement and wouldn't even get to them all. Now let's get comfortable with the types of inequalities you'll encounter. The inequality symbols are less than or equal to, greater than, and greater than or equal to. Let's look a little closer at each of these, starting with less than. With this inequality, we have a smaller number on the left and a larger number on the right. An example of this would be 20 is less than 30. Then there's less than or equal to. This is very similar to less than because the 20 and 30 will work here too. The number on the left can be smaller and the number on the right can be bigger, but with less than or equal to, the numbers can also be equal. This means that 30 is less than or equal to 30 is also a true statement. Then there's greater than. When using the greater than symbol, we put the larger number on the left and the smaller number on the right. This example reads as 30 is greater than 20. The same numbers will work with greater than or equal to, but with greater than or equal to, we can also have the two numbers be equal. So 30 is greater than or equal to 30 is also true. There we have it. These are all the inequalities you need to be able to use. Now, there will be a lot of negative numbers involved when working with inequalities, and I don't want you to make mistakes just because of them. Let's take a look at one example that includes negative numbers. This example says, which of the following numbers is a solution to the inequality shown? And the inequality we're using is x is greater than -5. Take some time here to go through these answer choices and see if you can get the correct answer all by yourself. We have to be careful here since we have negative numbers. If we aren't paying attention to the negative signs and read this as 6 is greater than 5, we would think that answer choice A is true. That's why we have to be careful with negative signs. This really says -6 is greater than -5. If we look at this on a number line, -6 is in fact smaller than -5, not greater than, like the inequality says. Since answer choice A is not correct, that means answer choice E is also incorrect. Let's move on to answer choice B. Is 4 greater than -5? 4 is to the right of -5 on a number line, so yes, 4 is greater than -5. We'll need to check answer choice C as well, just in case it's actually 2 of these. So is -5 greater than -5? No, it's not. If we had a greater than or equal to sign here instead, this would have been correct. Well, since answer choice C is incorrect, that means answer choice D is also incorrect. So we've narrowed it down to answer choice B. The goal for this lesson is to get comfortable working with inequality symbols, but by the end of this unit, we'll be solving and using inequalities in lots of real-life situations. So to prepare for that, the next time you're thinking about something in your daily life that involves numbers and inequalities, think about how you could write it in its mathematical form. Are you able to use correct inequalities to represent them? And maybe even write them in 2 different ways? If you're not quite ready for this yet, that's totally okay. You will be there by the end of the unit. All right, that's it for this lesson's video. You have finished the video and guided notes section. There's one activity that contains some important concepts that you'll need to know for the practice game. So be sure to work on that and make sure you're confident in your understanding before moving on. See you next time.